Imagine walking into your lavish penthouse and hearing your baby crying, but when you rush in, you don't see a nanny or family member comforting them. You see your black maid, cradling your infant, breastfeeding him like he was her own. Child, your heart stops, your mind races. Was this betrayal, desperation, or something much deeper? What this millionaire did next shocked the entire country. Stay with this story to the end, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more true stories that expose the human heart where society least expects it. Jonathan Grayson was not just any millionaire. At 38, he was the poster child of New York City wealth and prestige. Single, powerful, and known for revolutionizing logistics with his AI-based startup, Skyline Flow. Yet for all his technological brilliance and commanding boardroom presence, Jonathan was helpless in his personal life. His wife had passed away 2 years earlier during childbirth, leaving him shattered and alone with his newborn son, Eli. In the months that followed, grief turned to silence. Jonathan withdrew, raising Eli with a rotating team of nannies and housekeepers who came and went like whispers. That was until Rosa entered the picture. She was a quiet, middle-aged black woman from Georgia, with eyes that held storms and smiles that could calm them. She'd been hired through an agency without Jonathan giving much thought, just another name in the chain. But something about Rosa's presence steadied the chaos in his penthouse. She never spoke unless spoken to, never overstepped, and somehow always seemed to know what the baby needed. Eli calmed when she was near. He giggled in her arms. He slept through nights that had once been filled with screaming. But Jonathan, buried in investor calls and startup chaos, barely noticed the deepening bond forming in his own home. Until that fateful Tuesday afternoon when he came home unannounced and everything changed. It was 2:14 p.m. when Jonathan pushed open the heavy mahogany door of his penthouse. He was supposed to be at a board meeting in San Francisco, but the flight had been canceled due to fog. He decided to surprise Eli with an early visit. As he stepped in, he noticed how unusually quiet the house was. No vacuum humming, no television babbling from the nanny lounge, just silence, broken only by a faint sucking sound and a rhythmic lullaby humming from the nursery. His heart leaped. He rushed forward, throwing open the nursery door, and froze. Rosa sat in the rocking chair, her blouse unbuttoned, her breast in Eli's mouth. The baby's tiny hands clutched at her shirt as he nursed calmly, his cheeks full and his eyes dreamy. Jonathan's vision tunneled. Everything slowed. "What the hell are you doing?" he shouted. Rosa jumped, startled, quickly adjusting her blouse. "Mr. Grayson, please, don't you dare. Don't you dare speak right now," he growled, trembling with rage. "Get out of this room, right now." Rosa gently unlatched Eli and placed him in his crib before leaving without a word. Jonathan stared at his baby, his chest heaving. Every lawyer, every scandal, every lawsuit flashed through his mind. But under that anger was confusion. And under that, something else, something deeper. Rosa sat in the staff room, staring at her hands. She knew this day might come. She had kept the secret for too long. An hour passed before Jonathan summoned her. "You owe me the truth," he said, his voice cold. "Every detail." She nodded, eyes cast down. "Mr. Grayson, I wasn't trying to harm your child. When I came here, Eli was. He was in pain. The formula gave him colic. He couldn't digest it. He cried all night. You weren't home most of the time. The nannies came and left." She swallowed. "I lost a baby, sir. My son. He would've been Eli's age. When I saw your boy screaming with no one comforting him, my body still produced milk. I made a choice. A mother's choice." Jonathan's fists clenched. "You, ... had no right." "I know," she whispered. "But I did what I thought was right." He dismissed her, his mind a storm. But that night he sat by Eli's crib. His son slept peacefully for the first time in weeks. And Jonathan remembered. The pediatrician had once told him Eli was lactose sensitive. The new formula must have hurt. Why didn't he notice? But why had he been so absent? He thought of Rosa's quiet devotion, the way she sang to Eli, held him, loved him. Love. It wasn't just an act of service. It was real. It was raw. And maybe it was exactly what they both needed. The next morning, Jonathan made headlines, but not in the way the world expected. Instead of firing Rosa or pressing charges, Jonathan held a press conference outside his penthouse, with Rosa at his side. "I caught Rosa breastfeeding my son," he began, pausing as reporters gasped. "And it opened my eyes to a failure not on her part, but on mine." He went on to detail the neglect Eli had suffered, the love Rosa had given, and the painful, racialized assumptions people might make about her. "We judge quickly, but we don't ask enough. Rosa gave my son what I couldn't, and for that, she is not my maid anymore. She is my son's godmother." The internet exploded. Half the country applauded his humility. The other half debated ethics. But Jonathan didn't care. What mattered was Eli and Rosa, and the family they had formed not by blood, but by choice. He offered Rosa a permanent place, not as staff, but as family. She wept in his arms. Years later, when Jonathan remarried and Eli grew strong and happy, people still told the story of the millionaire, the black maid, and the decision that turned judgment into redemption. And you, the listener, the watcher, remember this? Not all stories start the way we want, but some of them end exactly the way we need. Subscribe now for more real, heart-gripping stories that challenge how we see the world and each other, because sometimes the truth lives where you least expect it.